Josh in Canada. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Josh, good afternoon. How are you today?
Hey, Mad Dog. Good to talk to you.
Hello, Josh. What's on your mind now? Fire away.
First of all, Chris, anything I say here has no ill will towards the American people, your political system, any of that stuff. It's just an observance. I don't know why these mass shootings keep happening down there, and I think it has a little bit to do with gun control. But do you think maybe it's perhaps a bit of the psyche of just the American people in general, like your guys' history and military prowess? Maybe that maybe kind of feeds into the psyche of some of these kids, that they feel they want to be the next American hero in some sort of twisted way and take up arms. Do you think maybe it has something to do with that? Because we don't really seem to have that problem up here, and it's not because, one, we can't really buy a weapon like that freely, but two, I mean, I just...
Well, America's got 300 million people living in its borders. How many people does Canada have?
About 30 million. So you guys are 10 times the population. Understandable.
That's a factor.
Absolutely.
That's a factor. That's the first thing. Second thing is, from a Canadian standpoint, are your gun laws tough?
Yeah, to a certain extent, Chris. You can still, I believe you could probably buy an AR-15, but I mean, there's two different types of gun licenses you need. There's an unrestricted and a restricted, and I believe that weapon falls in a restricted category. And even if you were able to purchase it, the clip is I don't think you can get a big clip for it. I think you're only allowed a certain amount of rounds in the clip, and it can never be fully auto. I think it can only be semi.
Why you would want to buy that weapon anyway? But at least there are some checkpoints if you do buy the weapon. All right. Yeah. What do Canadians think about this when they read this in the newspapers? And by the way, I talked to somebody who was in Rome today. You know, this story is on the front page of the papers in Italy. Did you know that? Leads the newscasts. This is in Italy. Leads the newscast. What do Canadians think about these kinds of things?
Well, I think most Canadians are probably appalled at what happened, and I don't think they hold it against the United States or the people of the United States. But I mean, it's a shocking story. I think no matter what country it would come from. I mean, it's shocking, but it just perplexes me because I don't understand why it keeps happening, down there all the time. Like there's got to be a reason. It can't just be gun control only. There's got to be some sort of reason that these kids, like, go all the way back to Columbine too. Like there's a reason these kids want to take up these guns and just take it out on the rest of the athletes or whatever.
Josh, somewhere along the line, these kids have been lost in society. They've been disconnected. I don't know what the answer is. Who knows? That's where mental illness comes in. I'm not an expert on that, and that is obviously part of the problem. I do not know. And I don't know what the solution is. I don't think arming teachers is the answer. I don't think you can afford having 50 cops at every school in the country. What you can do? How about at the middle school, or at the junior, or at the high school, or at the or at the elementary school, or the kindergarten? You gonna have cops there too? I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But you got to start somewhere, and guns is the first way I think you got to start. And maybe the FBI do their homework, preventing one of these things once in a while. 5 o'clock.